guys, welcome back to Benos Esther Malka's channel. On today's game review, we are going to play this game and it is called Ecosystem. So if you have this game, give it a thumbs up so we'll all know. And if you're excited to learn how to play this game, give it a thumbs up. So for the first part of this review, we are actually going to look into the game contents. The first thing I want to show you is this game is adorable. Look how small and cute it is. Here's the palm of my hand, so it fits in the palm of my hand. And as you could see, we review a ton of games here. So I do appreciate when a game is so small that it fits nicely on the shelf. So really good job. So let's open up the game. In this game, you will find the instructions. And the instructions, it's not necessary, but it was the detail I liked. They're pretty. They're just as pretty as the game, so great job on the instructions. They also have a bunch of these little cards. Now, these are more of like reference cards. They go next to you as you play, because as you can see, give you a close up, there's a lot going on in this game. So having everything at your fingertips is definitely a nice bonus. Another thing that's featured is a scoreboard. And as you could see, there's going to be a lot to score because there are a lot of cards. So having it in this nice little grid is nice to know. One thing I want to point out, they're not double-sided, so you are getting exactly what is in the pad. So if you are going to play this game often, then make your own grid and have it ready. And last, we have the cards. So these cards are really small. See, they fit in the palm of my hand. Now, just so you know, that's great because like I said, the game is small, but it's a little bit hard to mix. So I mix the old-fashioned way. So let's look at the cards. You have this beautiful eagle. You have the bees. You have the river. There's a fox, a dragonfly, there's a reindeer or an elk, and the meadow. There's some trout, and there's just a whole lot of, like I said, beautiful cards. And these are the cards you're going to be using to build your ecosystem. So if you got this far and want to see how to play the game, give this video a thumbs up and let's go play the game. All right, so let's play Ecosystem. The first thing everyone is going to need is the actual game card. Now, this is a reference card. I'll give you guys a close-up to get a better look at it, of how the points are scored. And this is super important when you are going to build your ecosystem because there is a lot going on. And it really depends on how you lay your ecosystem out that determines how many points you will or will not score. Once everybody has a card, then you deal each player 10 ecosystem cards. Now, here's where it gets interesting. You flip over your card, and the goal of the game is to build a 5x4 grid. Basically, you're setting up an ecosystem. So the first turn, watch this, I get to choose any card that I want to put down. So let's say I go for, do we have any deer in here? I always like to go for a deer first. Nope. So oh yeah, we do. I have a deer. So I go for a deer. And the reason I like to go for a deer, because I check out my scorecard, is deer is worth 2 points each row and each column. So if I have one deer here, I can get 2 points here and 2 points here, giving me a total of 4 points. So I like to start my first turn with the deer. Now, here's where it gets fun. I have my 10 cards. I put down my card, and now I swap cards with the player next to me. So now I have 9 new cards to play. The next thing I'm going to play is, let's say, a meadow. I'm going to go for the meadow because as you could see here, connected meadows score, and you have 0, 3, 6, 10, and 15 points for meadows. So if I have 1 card, I get 0, but if I have 2, I get 3. So the meadow was worth it for me this round. Then again, I swap cards and let's see what's left. I never know what's left. Oh, another meadow. So right now, oops, I am going to build a meadow. And again, swap cards and I see what's left. Ooh, a dragonfly. Do I want to go for a dragonfly? Dragonfly points for total length of adjacent streams. So I'm like, no points for the dragonfly, but maybe I might want to build a stream. Oh, so I'm going to put down a stream, and here's where it gets tricky. Hopefully there'll be a dragonfly waiting for me. I don't know, because like I said, every turn I get new cards. No, nothing here. What would interest me? It's really tricky. Oh, the most wolves, see here, scores 12, 8, and 4. So I see a wolf here. So I'm just going to put a wolf in the pile. And again, I'm hoping to get my dragonfly. And, I got the dragonfly. So now I get bonus points. Some strategies could be I might add some more streams around the dragonfly. I don't know. But anyway, you get the picture. After I have 10 cards, I'm just going to put out some cards randomly to show you. After I have 10 cards laid out, and we finished our 10 cards, then we each deal another 10 cards. We each are dealt a hand of another 10 cards, and just like it says, we continue to build our ecosystem in a grid of 5 by 4. So the gameplay is really simple. Now, where's the educational value? Because everything I try to, educate my students. So in the beginning, something simple might be, which animals do you know live in a meadow? And the students would give me some examples of animals that live in a meadow. Then when they lay out a dragonfly, well, why should the dragonfly, exist next to a stream for more points? Tell me about the dragonfly. Or I might do a question, let's say there would be a dragonfly and they swapped, and a stream next to a meadow. Well, how does the stream help the meadow? Why do the animals need a stream near the meadow? And as we play the game, depending on how each student lays out their ecosystem, knowing the knowledge that they know, then I would ask them questions on the game. So in terms of the actual game, there's a lot going on here. And like I said, you need this card. Some of my students do take a very, very long time going through every single card. And I guess it's okay, but some of my students on the flip side do get frustrated because there's a lot of strategy built in. But when I have a student who needs a longer time to actually play the game, then I would take advantage and start asking my critical thinking questions. So nobody's really hanging around not learning, and we're all building our ecosystem. And that's another thing. Every time we play, we actually have a new ecosystem to talk about, because every single time, well, you never know what cards you're going to get in your hands. All right, so we've gone through ecosystem, we've played the game. Now let's rate it. 1, giving it, I love it. 2, you decide. And 3, stay away from this game. Well, this game was hard to rate. I don't know if I'd give it a 1, but I don't know if I'd give it a 2. So we're going to give it a 1.5. And I'll tell you why. On the surface, this game is fantastic. I, as a teacher, was able to sneak education in by the questions I asked my students. Plus, here's a little bonus educational tip. Take away the scoreboard and have your students learn the scores in their head, adding to memory building skills and mental math. So in terms of all that, this game is fantastic. Some of the things I didn't like so much was you only have 10 cards and you're only playing in basically 2 rounds. Now, in the beginning, you have this really big strategy built up, and then towards the end, you're kind of in this ring of luck. So when you build an ecosystem, I don't know if it's so much luck based. So that's something that kind of didn't really sit well with me. But on the other hand, the beauty of the game, the cards, is amazing. But then on the flip side, some of my students did have a little bit of difficulty tracking all the cards. Because remember, you have to, I'll just read you some of the facts quickly. A bear is 2 points for each adjacent bee or trout. So you have to keep these things in mind. Or a fox is 3 points if not adjacent to any bears or wolves. So for some of my students who might need more time, keeping track of all this made the game go slower. But on the flip side, for my students who kind of had it all memorized after the second or third gameplay, then like I said, this game was a breeze. So in the terms of 1.5, you decide, but I'm telling you, kind of lean over and get this game because Ecosystem does have a lot to offer your students. So if you want to get this game or have it, give this video a thumbs up, but most importantly, check out the link below because I'm going to leave a direct link to Ecosystem so you can add it to your game shelves and your students can learn how Ecosystem works through playing games. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel because we post one new game review every single week geared towards education. If there's a specific game you want to see, well, as you could see, YouTube turned off my commenting, but don't worry, I am fully accessible over at Instagram. So if you have a question on Ecosystem or any other game, I'll do my best to answer it. Head over to Instagram, drop a comment, and let's keep playing together. Thank you guys so much for stopping by.